I am Dr. W. B. Gannole from Kamla Nehru Mahavidyalaya, Nagpur. Today we are discussing the solid state. As we know, electrical properties of metallic conductor, insulator or semiconductors are explained in terms of band theory. And as we know, metals are good conductor of electricity. Outer electrons of all atoms of the metallic crystals occupy conduction band. So there are number of electrons or large number of electrons in the conduction band, and that is why the metals are good conductor of electricity. So in today's part we are discussing what is conductor, that is metals, semiconductors, insulator, and the types of semiconductor, N type or P type. So detail about all this part we are discussing in today's presentation. So today's topic is the solid state, and this is the part number 12, and in this part number 12 we are discussing electrical properties of solids, what is conductor, that is metals, and also insulator, details about the semiconductor, N type and P type, and what is meant by intrinsic semiconductors. So as we know, in case of electrical properties of the metallic conductor or insulator or semiconductors can be explained in terms of the band theory. Already we have seen what is band gap, what is band theory, already we have seen. So the electrical properties of metallic crystals can be explained in terms of the band theory. So there are three important parts of the metallic crystal. One is a metal, that is conductor, second is a insulator, and third is a semiconductor. So what is now metal? So we can say that metals are, as we have seen, metals are good conductor of electricity, and this is because all the outer electrons of the atoms in the crystal occupy the conduction band. So all electrons of the atoms, outer electrons of all the atoms occupy the conduction band. As we know that, so the number of electrons which are present in the conduction band are large, and hence we can say that metals are good conductor of electricity. The conduction band in metals can be further labeled as a S band and overlapping of S and P band. So what is S band and the overlapping of S and P bands, and like that it is shown in the figure. So this figure shows what is the S band. Here is shown. This is the there is the overlapping of the orbitals, and this is the S band of the S orbital, S energy level. Here S and P, this is S, this one is a P band. So this S and P get overlapping. So shown here how S and P bands are overlapping. Number of energy levels are there, as we have seen in case of metallic. So there is a different types of energy level, and forming after overlapping we get this type of bands. So as we know, bands are formed, different types of bands are formed, and as we know, a band is made up of closely spaced electronic energy level, and band formation can be correlated to the formation of molecular orbital by the interaction of atomic orbital. So this is the S band, and here is the S and P band is overlapping is shown. So this is figure A and this is figure B. How the overlapping is taking place between the S and P band is shown, and this is the S band. This is half filled up to this. This is the lower part is filled and this is empty. This is P band is completely empty. Slightly part is overlapping, and this band S band is near to the filled. So S band is half filled and half is empty. P band is completely empty is shown, and so there is overlapping between S and P. So this is shown metallic conductor, because from this from lower to higher, here is a space to occupy the electron. So electron transfer from this lower to higher. So there is a possibility of transfer of electrons, and that is why these figures show how metallic conductors are there. And so in case of metal that we have seen, figure A and figure B is shown. Figure A show the S band, figure B show the S and P bands, and these depend on the atomic orbital. The overlapping depends on the atomic orbital which are involved in the band formation. Band formation in metallic conductors result in delocalization of outermost electron of all the metal atom and leaving behind the metal ions. So here band formation in metallic conductor can take place and forming the delocalization of outermost electron of all the metal atoms and leaving behind the metal ions. So this can also be described as a cation of metal are immersed in a sea of electrons. So we can say that metal have tendency to lose one or more electron and form the cation. So if loses one electron, become monopositive cation or monopositive ion, and so this can also be, we can describe it as a cation of metal are immersed in a sea of electrons. So there are a large number of electrons, sea of electrons, and ions are formed. So here this is the figure, and here is shown what is metallic conductor. So metallic conductor depends on the atomic orbitals which are involved in the band formation. Metallic conductor depends on the atomic orbital, and atomic orbital involved in band formation, that we have seen how the overlapping is taking place between the atomic orbital, and band formation in this metallic conductor result in the delocalization of electrons of all the metal atom and leaving behind the metal ion. This is described as cation of metals are immersed in the sea of electrons. Now we can say that the cation of this metal atom occupy the lattice site and vibrate about their mean position, and at higher temperature these cations undergo increase the vibrational motion and their lattice site, and flow of electron is interrupted by increasing the vibrational motion. So because of the vibrational motion, the flow of electron is disturbed or interrupted, and therefore conductivity of the metal decreases with the increase of temperature. As we know, in case of metallic conductor, already the metals are good conductor, but now if we increase the temperature, the conductivity of the conductors or metal decreases. So why it decreases? As we have seen, in case of suppose at higher temperature, metal cation undergo increased vibrational motion about their lattice site, and because of this vibrational motion, flow of electron is interrupted, and because of that they show the less conductivity, it gives the conductivity of metal decreases with the increase in temperature. So this is the important drawback. As the temperature increases, the conductivity of the metallic conductor decreases. So at higher temperature they have low conductivity. So there is a considerable effect of temperature on the conductivity of the metallic conductor. So this is the reason that they decreases the conductivity. Now the next part is the insulator. Second part is the insulator. As we know, insulator have large band gap, which we can also say that there is a forbidden zone. So in this figure is shown, this is the ES band, this is the field valence band, and also this is the empty conduction band. Two bands have been shown in this figure. And how it is an insulator? It is this is the insulator. In case of insulator, what is this blue color shows the field valence band. This is the field, and this is the empty conduction band. Two bands are there, and between these two bands there is a large gap which is known as forbidden zone. There is a large energy gap between these two bands, and this large energy gap is also known as forbidden zone. So in case of the insulator, we can say that in case of insulator, the valence band is completely filled, and electrons with electron, and the conduction band is empty. So in insulator, valence band is completely filled with electrons and conduction band is empty, which is shown also in the figure. So it is clear now, in insulator the valence band is completely filled with electrons and the conduction band is empty. So here the valence band and conduction band in insulator are separated by a large energy gap, which is known as forbidden zone, as shown in the figure. So thermal energy is insufficient to promote electron from the valence band to the conduction band. So why there is a large gap? It is because thermal energy is insufficient to promote electron from valence band to the conduction band. So there is no transfer of electron from valence band, filled valence band to the empty conduction band. Valence band have the electrons, but this cannot be, there is no sufficient thermal energy to transform into conduction empty band, and because of that conduction band remain vacant. So in case of insulator, conduction band is remain vacant. This material is therefore known as the insulator. So now it is clear that in case of the insulator, what is the valence band is completely filled and the conduction band is empty, and there is no any sufficient thermal energy to transfer electron from valence band to the empty conduction band, and because of that the conduction band in insulator is remain empty, and because of that such type of material is known as the insulator. So insulators are shown here. This is empty, this is filled, and there is a large band gap energy between these two bands, and because of that this large energy gap is known as the forbidden zone. So in case of insulator, conduction band is empty and the field valence band is there. So this is about insulator, why it is an insulator, why this material cannot conduct electricity. So this is the reason there is no any transfer of the energy from the electron from the valence band to the higher empty conduction band. Third important point is there, what is the semiconductors. This is an important. Semiconductors are the intermediate between, it is the material which have intermediate electrical conductivity between those of the metals and the insulator. So semiconductors material is intermediate, having intermediate properties or conductivity as compared to metal and insulator. So metal are good conductor and insulators are very bad conductor, but semiconductors are having property in between this metal and insulator. The examples of these semiconductors are silicon and germanium are the metalloid, which are example of the semiconductor. So remember the two important elements, say a metalloid. Two important metalloid elements are silicon and germanium are semiconductors. And as we know, in case of like insulator, just like we have seen in case of insulator, in case of semiconductor also valence band is completely filled with the electrons and conduction band is empty. Similar to insulator, in case of semiconductor also, that is the valence band is completely filled and conduction band is empty. But in this case, energy gap between the two band is small, not large. Band gap between the valence band and conduction band is smaller as compared to the insulator. जितना इंसुलेटर में बैंड एनर्जी गैप थी उससे बहुत कम इसमें है सेमीकंडक्टर में. एंड एट पर्टिकुलर टेम्परेचर एट अ टेम्परेचर above absolute zero, few electron in the valence band have enough thermal energy to jump into the small band gap and occupy the higher energy conduction band. So at particular temperature, that is we can say that above the absolute zero, some of the electrons can be transferred in from valence band to the conduction band because the band gap is smaller, and passing through that, because that electrons have enough thermal energy, and therefore electron can jump from filled valence band to the empty conduction band. And that is why as the temperature increases, the conductivity of the material also increases. Such material is known as the semiconductors. So these electrons have sufficient energy and jumping from valence band to the conduction band, and because of that conduction band become partially filled. Conduction band was initially empty, but now after transfer of electron, the conduction band is become the partially filled, and therefore valence band become partially empty. And because of that, which is shown also in the figure, and because of that the materials are known as semiconductor. So here how, see now we have seen in case of insulator this energy gap was large बहुत ज़्यादा थी इसमें, लेकिन सेमीकंडक्टर में ये जो बैंड गैप है, बैंड एनर्जी गैप इज स्मॉल, not much more. This is the empty conduction band and this is the filled valence band. So some of the electron in the valence band have energy, thermal energy, and can be jumped because of the gap is small. So these are jumping from this filled to empty. So this partially filled conduction band is there in case of semiconductor, and partially empty valence band get partially empty. So after transferring some electron, few electron get transferred from filled valence band to the empty conduction band. So this is the situation which is shown in case of semiconductors. So this is empty, similar to insulator. This is empty and this is filled. But now, because of the gap is small, some of the electrons have sufficient thermal energy, and therefore they get jump from lower to higher, that is from valence band to the conduction band. And because of that, as the temperature increases, the electrical conductivity of this material also increases. So such materials are known as the semiconductor. Now in this part it is shown that the electron in conduction band are free to move. Now the electron which are present in the conduction band in case of semiconductor material are free to move, and because of that when electrical potential is applied, a semiconductor conduct small amount of electricity. So such type of semiconductors material which are very low but show some electrical conductivity is known as the intrinsic semiconductor. So what is semiconductor? Intrinsic semiconductor and extrinsic semiconductors are there. Two types of semiconductors are there, intrinsic and extrinsic. So what is intrinsic semiconductor? Pure semiconductor material which are very low but finite electrical conductivity is known as intrinsic semiconductors. And in this case of semiconductor, we can say that conductivity of semiconductor increases with increasing temperature. This is the important feature of semiconductor material. And because of number of electron with sufficient energy to get promoted to the conduction band increases the conductivity as temperature increases. And at higher temperature there are more mobile electrons in the conduction band, and because of that vacancies in the valence band at lower as compared to the valence band than at lower temperature. We can also say that semiconductors are insulator at low temperature. We can also say that semiconductors are insulator at a low temperature and conductors at high temperature. So semiconductors behave like a insulator at lower temperature. As we know, in case of semiconducting material, as the temperature increases, the conductivity also increases. Therefore, we also say that at lower temperature, semiconducting materials behave like insulator, and at higher temperature, more electrons are free, can move, and because of that these materials can be classed as a conductor. So depending upon their what is the temperature, so temperature is also an important part and which affect the properties of this material. So there are two types of semiconductor, intrinsic semiconductor and extrinsic semiconductor material are there. So what is now intrinsic we have seen, what is extrinsic semiconductor, and what is doping. Doping means we have to add some impurity in the material, pure substance, which also increases the conductivity. So here that part we will discuss in the next time. And here, so in today's part we have seen what are the different types of, three types of metallic conductor, insulator and the metallic semiconductor. Semiconductors are two types, N and P, that we are discussing in the next part. So what is the intrinsic semiconductor that we have seen, so how the overlapping is taking place, and in case of conductor, that is metals are good conductor of electricity, insulators are bad conductor of electricity, semiconductors are intermediate between these two, metal and insulator. So these are the important properties of the crystalline solid. So metallic conduction, metallic insulator, metallic semiconductors, how these are the electrical properties we can explain on the basis of band theory. So today we stop here, and in the next part we will discuss extrinsic semiconductor, what is n-type semiconductor, p-type semiconductor, and some magnetic properties of the crystalline materials.